All right, guys, this is Jay here from Visions of Reality. Welcome to day 7 of 12 days of Visions of Reality. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the song On the Edge of Greatness. And if there was any song I was going to change the title to, it was this one. I almost did for a while, and I probably should have, but I decided to keep it because it's one of the lyrics in the song. But the other alternative title of the song would have been On the Brink of Grandeur or something, or I don't know. I just didn't like the way that sounded. It kind of sounded weird. But it's basically the concept of, you're dealing with the whole, again, kind of a recurring theme here. Can't quite call this an album, concept album, but at least the last 3 songs are kind of the same concept of, kind of bleak despair and existence, and hoping for some kind of help or something, or connection to something other than yourself in your separated state. And that's the whole idea of this song. It's kind of another kind of, it's really kind of almost like a continuation of the concept of conscious oblivion. It's about a man who realizes he's in the Matrix, and so it's heavily inspired by the Matrix. I'm a big fan of the Matrix movies. Of course, the first one is going to always be the best in my opinion. But I just love the whole idea of the concept of being in a simulation, how that kind of explains a lot of things, and in our experience on Earth. And it talks about wishing for that connection, and it heavily borrows from concepts from A Course in Miracles again, where that sense of connection to somebody else reminds you that you're real. Because if you're just all by yourself and everybody else is like just like an NPC, for lack of a better phrase, how do you know that anything's real? How do you know it's just not your own dream? And connecting to somebody else on a soul level reminds you that, hey, you're not alone. There's other than you in this universe. And that's what this song is really all about. It's really about the idea of when you connect with somebody else and that sense of unity, you start to feel like you're real again. I think that's the whole point of this existence, actually. I'm living on Earth is, to experience that separation, so that you can kind of grow your own soul, because obviously if you're part of everything, part of all it is, how can you experience any individuality? But we come here to experience our individuality on a separation basis, if you want to call it that, so that we can kind of almost like relearn like what it's like to have communication and relationships with others, And I think that's how God, if you want to call it that way, God evolves, if you want to have that kind of metaphysical concept. That's how God was able to escape his absolute, single personality, if you want to call it that. He had to kind of subdivide into infinitesimal individuals. And then, I don't know, I guess over eternity, we all try to reintegrate. That's, again, more metaphysical stuff here. You're probably going to be like, what are you talking about? But read A Course in Miracles, you'll get it more. Yeah, that's the whole concept of this song. It kind of starts off thrashy, deathy, and and it kind of gets into some power metal-esque like vocals during the chorus. And then the ending of the song, or the last 2 segments, if you want to call it that, like the bridge and then the final bridge or ending, outro, whatever you want to call it. So it's total black metal, blast beats and keyboards and everything. But I really like the part where it just kind of completely changes with the keyboards and the guitar. Like it almost sounds like almost like a key change. I don't know if it really is, but it really just just like them. I like the mood that it gives me. So that's really on the edge of greatness. Kind of starts off again, kind of on a bleak, kind of like despairing, existential crisis type of mood, and then and it does end off on a more positive note. So that's the whole purpose of On the Edge of Greatness. It's like realizing that again, just like Behold the End, you're on the edge of realizing something great. That you're not just this single soul separated on Earth, apart from everybody else. No, there is something more than that. We are a part of all that is. Call it God, call it universal consciousness, or source, whatever you want to call this entity or conglomeration of entities. That's the whole point of, I think, living here, is to discover that as individuals. And that this matrix is just a temporary simulation to facilitate such process. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. God bless.